everybody. Anyone listening? This is a big week for a friend of mine named Daren McCormick, and Daren has pretty much devoted his life to helping people, and has paid very, very dearly in the sense that he's gone to jail for this multiple times. The first time, as I understand, it was for growing cannabis that he was giving to Rick Simpson to make the healing oil. The second time, Daren went to prison for 3.5 years, and although he didn't get charged with cannabis, that's what he went to jail for. You can be sure of it. In fact, it was so trumped up, it's unbelievable. It's just completely unbelievable. He went to prison. Well, first they raided. You got to understand where he lives. There's like where his mother and father lived, and then next door is where Daren's trailer is. So of course they raided the mother and father's place. The father had had a stroke. They wouldn't let him cover up during the entire raid, and his father got pneumonia from it and died. So, but before he died, they were going to charge him with possession. He's a vet. This guy's a vet, so he had a rifle in the house, and so Daren took the charge for the rifle, so that they'd leave his father alone. And the other one was for threatening an officer or something like that. But when the officer was on the stand and he asked Daren asked if he had felt threatened by him, the officer said no. That didn't stop them from putting him in prison for those things for 3.5 years. Prison. Daren had been helping people, including myself, well, for a loved one of mine, with cannabis oil that he made it for free. The night he made some for a loved one of mine, he had court the next morning, and I stopped at 4 o'clock in the morning. I was like, okay, it's cool, you got to get to bed, and I'll boil off the rest of the solvent when I get home, because there was still some solvent in there. As soon as Daren got out, he started healing people again. He grew a garden the first year. Good, and this guy's like a master gardener, so one plant out of him is worth 5 or 6 out of someone else. You know, we're talking pounds. So, and he gives it all away. He gives it all away. Like, Daren lives so poor, and you know, and I see this guy go to court, and where's all the people that he healed? Where's all the people that he helped? You don't see them showing up. In fact, you know, last time another healer said, listen, these people start showing up to me to get the medicine from me because Daren's gone. I'm going to say no, because they're not there supporting him. So Daren got raided again. I believe it was in November, or no, it was in September or late August. That's right. So I went to Newfoundland because that's where he went. Because here's what's going on. Daren was in the process of laying charges against the people that kidnapped him and put him in a cage for 3.5 years. So they went on the offensive, and of course they raided him. I mean, here we are, right on the verge of legalization, And, you know, there was a lot of people waiting for that medicine. People died. There's videos. There was a man, stage 4 lung cancer, who was, Daren was his only hope. He's dead now. There was lots of other people waiting, and I'd never seen him so happy. He had a lot of plants growing. They say 600. It was 200. And really the precedent with that was set with Rick Simpson, because Rick Simpson got caught with 4,500 plants and got a $1,200 fine. So, what the fuck is wrong with these people? You know, it's just, how can these people even live with themselves? Going up and tearing up a garden like that was meant to help a lot of people. And charged again with the same fucking gun. Still had the evidence tag on it. Not even in his house. But you know what they're going to do? It's like either you take the charge or we're going to charge your mother. His widowed mother. That's what, that's the kind of things, these are the tactics. And there was some other guns, but they were cap and ball guns. They're all rusted up, and these are toy guns. Like, I mean, this is what we're talking about here. Antique toy guns. The cap and ball. Like, you literally have to, like, load in the the black powder, and like it's fucking ridiculous, man. And these things didn't even fire. They're all rusted up. Because when he had gone to jail, they got fucking all rusted up. But we'll charge him with that anyway. Rusted old toy guns, antiques, not even guns, by the Criminal Code of Canada. But hey, remember what they put him away for the first time? 3.5 years for a gun that wasn't his, and for uttering threats that the person apparently had. It never happened. Like, he didn't feel threatened by Daren, but they charged him with it anyway, because they didn't think anybody cared. They didn't think anybody gave a shit. But the thing is, as fate would have it, I had the footage of Daren making the medicine. I made a video of Daren, because I was beside myself when he got 3.5 years, and they made him do it every day, like, every single day. And then there's the halfway house, and whatever. Daren's only crime, really, healing people. Nothing more. Going against the system, saying, fuck you, I'm not going to stop healing people just because of your little ridiculous law that makes a plant illegal. A plant. I mean, this is what we're talking about. This is a plant on planet Earth. We're all allowed to have. Like, I mean, the fuck is the government telling people, oh, you can't have this healing plant, this non-toxic, non-addictive healing plant? Okay, so people would say, well, it's about to become legal now. Right. Let Daren go. Drop the charges. This is insane. Stop torturing this man. This isn't, this is a gardener, a beekeeper, probably the most gentle person I've met, and most compassionate. If you gave Daren $2 million tomorrow, it would be gone in a week, because he wouldn't know what to do with it, and he'd give it all away. Or he'd invest it in medicine to be able to give it away. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what he would do. He doesn't care about money and things like that. He cares about people. Because it is an amazing feeling when you heal somebody of cancer or something, some other horrible disease. It's a phenomenal feeling. It's empowering, and you feel like all is right with the world for that moment. Somebody that was gonna die, and you made that difference. To me, Daren is a hero, and it blows my mind. No, it sickens me that I live in a country that would do this. Like, you know, rather than applaud this and make it national news and, hey, look, world, no, we're gonna bend over to big pharma and what else? Like, who else are you trying to appease there, Mr. Government? You know, by doing these things. Okay, so we're gonna make it legal. Well, not until they get everything in place so that all the cronies and all the arseholes who've been putting everybody in jail and ruining lives, that they're the ones running the show. They're the ones that are going to profit off this. And the people that really fought for the legalization and for the industry, and they're the ones that are going to be pushed out, and they make these, you know, they make it for sure that it's just so sickening. It's so sickening. I just don't even know what else to say. Except that on April 3rd, Daren McCormick will be going to court to fight for his life. To fight for his you know, his right to heal people with a natural plant, like all grown organically and. But Canada, wake the fuck up. And if you've been helped by Daren McCormick, be there. In some way, shape, or form, be involved. I can't stress that enough. This guy put his life on the line, literally put his life on the line. He's paying for it too. He's paying for helping all those people. So, stand up. Do something. This is wrong. He's looking at a minimum 5 years. Minimum. There's fucking rapists out there and pedophiles that don't get that. This guy's healing cancer. Let's put him away for fucking half a decade. Minimum. And for free. No good deed goes unpunished. April 3rd, Amherst, Nova Scotia, Canada. This is where this is going down. Support, support, support is needed. Because that's what, you know, that's what did it last time. That video I made of Daren went viral. And people knew. And another coincidence is that very week I put that video out after 2 years of Rick Simpson being in exile. And where's Rick Simpson on this? Yeah, you don't hear Rick talking about anybody else, but like, what? Rick may have been a good man, but you never hear him talk, you know, standing up. In fact, he asked me to take down the video of Daren when it got popular. Real fucking hero there. Anyway, he did a good thing at one time. And, you know, I recognize him for that. But I've also seen him turn his back on plenty of people. And I could go on. But anyhow, I won't, because this is about Daren. And it really doesn't take much, people. Like, I mean, just get the word out. Find the video. Canada's New Oil Man, Daren, and share it. It's on YouTube. And I'll soon be changing the title to Healing Cancer with Cannabis, the Daren story, because I did also make the Healing Cancer with Cannabis, the Rick Simpson story, and also John and Al. It's also called Canada's New Oilman, but I'll be changing that because I see it as a little series. And, you know, that's another victim. Al, you know, is that, just go watch. That's like one of the most tragic stories that didn't need to happen. This is a guy where he was all but cured. He was all but cured by the cannabis. So let's raid him, throw him in jail without charges for 2 months. Okay, wasn't charged with anything. His brother claimed all the plants. And in that 2 months, of course, the cancer came back with a fury. And very soon after, he died. And there's a video. Go watch it. And, I mean, I've been documenting this for 9 years now. And I have a movie that really needs to be made. But the problem is always funding. I mean, I just about lost everything over the Rick Simpson thing. You know, you put everything, all your energy and your passion into something like that, and in the end, there was no return. There should have been, but all support was drawn away and put towards Run From the Cure 2, and then just right at the last minute, raised him $25,000. Where's Run From the Cure 2? Promised to be out in 2014. So it took me another 3 years to be able to put out the whole movie. One, just because I was disgusted with the community, and two, it just takes time and effort I didn't have to put into it. You know, I had to scramble and get back into the industry and start making money. And I did all those things, and it, you know, it's been great. But there's a movie here that needs to be made, and I'll make it someday. You know, I'll find a way. It's going to be made, and these voices will be heard. This is a historic story in Canada, and it's not anywhere near done. Rick, he left. He went to Croatia, so he doesn't. He's just disgusted with Canada. Hold on there. I'm in a pothole landfill. And so he left. And but Daren, he was determined to set things straight here. Like you know, I've never met anybody so passionate, determined, and willing to pay the price for healing. Like, he just couldn't help it. He couldn't say, no, I'm not going to heal you. I'm just going to ignore your problem and let you die. Like, it's just not in him to do that. That's for policymakers to do, and government officials, and people that have never met these sick people, and people who really should be put in prison for these, for even making legislation like that, or even getting by. Like, you know, if you're impeding somebody's life from being saved, you're the fucking criminal. Like, how is that different from being a murderer? Like, oh, you need this to live, you need this to heal? Yeah. Well, we're gonna make sure that you don't get that. It's non-toxic and non-addictive, but it might make you happy. Daren McCormick, Amherst, April 3rd, Amherst Courthouse. This is happening, and this is a man that really deserves more medals than probably any doctor in Canada, and has healed more people than any doctor in Canada of cancer. And the thing about cannabis is, you know, from what I've seen, this is a long-term solution. Like chemotherapy, it might get the cancer. It might, but I hear that, you know, I've read studies where it's only a 2% success rate in the long run, like 5 years later, 10 years later. So, you know, and chemotherapy is poison, and it actually causes cancer. Don't take my word for it. It's right. There's a warning on it. It causes fucking cancer, and it's fucking toxic, bad. And you're basically destroying the immune system Where cannabis is the exact opposite. It's filling your body full of cannabinoids and activating your endocannabinoid system, and making your immune system vibrant and active. And I mean, immune system chucks away cancer all day long. I mean, that's what it does. Disease, it just gets rid of disease. I hope that this resonates with you, and you won't just sit back and let this all go by. Do something. Post a post. I'll put a link in the comments here to the videos I mentioned, and share, and let the world know that this can't happen. And the Canadian government, or whatever you want to call it, the RCMP and the Amherst Police Force and all the other fuckers, that, you know, people aren't just gonna turn a blind eye. People aren't just gonna say, oh, okay, well, it's all right, you guys go ahead and just destroy people for nothing. And impeding, I mean, this guy, really, I mean, we should be doing the absolute opposite, right? We should be getting this guy all sorts of whatever he needs to keep going, you know? Please support Daren McCormick. Daren McCormick is a good man. And if you're in law enforcement and you're involved in this, you're not. You're just man, woman, like, rethink what you're doing.